Hey guys, it's HMK and welcome to my spoiler warning, spoilercast of The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. Today is Friday, October 23rd, and the game has released. So the embargo on what I can say about this game is lifted. So I'm gonna go ahead and spoil as much as I can about this game. Talk about what I like, talk about what I don't like. It's just basically a big spoilercast for anyone who's willing to listen. Now, I am going to say extremely sensitive and heavy spoilers to the game. So if you do not want to hear any spoilers of this game, please click away from this video now. You have been warned. I don't want to hear y'all bitching in the comment section. Alright, so let's get into this. Alright, so first and foremost, this is going to be uncut, unedited. If anything, you'll just see like a picture of Triforce Heroes down here, like the little logo, whatever. Alright, so the thing about this game, right? Let's get into the story. The story was so fucking disappointing, guys. And I know a lot of people in my review were complaining like, "Oh, how can you be bashing the story? It's supposed to be taken silly, yada yada, not too seriously. It's a spin-off." First of all, this game is not a spin-off. It is one of the main titles of the Legend of Zelda series, including Four Swords and Four Swords Adventures. As small as they were main titles. And I understand this game was supposed to be silly. I looked at it, and it's still weak as fuck. It is a weak-ass story, even when you put it into silly standards and shit like that. It was like, you're expecting some sort of epic? No, because I've been seeing the trailers, and I already knew this game's story was gonna be, weird and silly. It was fucking whack. So what happens is that in the Kingdom of Hytopia, Princess Styla is cursed by Sister Lady or Lady whatever her name is. I don't give a fuck. She's some villain, whatever. She curses Sister fucking Princess Styla, and she wears this one piece thing. You guys already know that story. And because of this, the fashion-forward city of Hytopia is afraid to wear clothes because they might get cursed as well. And the king looks for heroes, and there you are. So, like, what's the predicament again? How is this kingdom gonna be tortured or anything like that? Like, seriously, it was just like some pathetic personal vendetta. Sister Lady cursed Styla, and that's it. She's not even like sending enemies over to the town or anything like that. She's not trying to destroy Hytopia Castle or anything like that. It's a weak as fuck story, right? So get this. When you go and actually meet up and fight Sister Lady, which was a fucking awesome boss fight. Holy shit. Like, her boss fight makes you take away, because in the last level, in the last level, it gives you the option to choose from any of the items you've ever had in the game, but like, you can only choose 3 because of the 3 links. And by the time you reach her, she takes off all your items, so you only have to defeat her with the sword and your own wits or whatever. And the boss fight against Sister Lady was pretty damn epic. It was pretty damn, challenging. Especially the part where she does a version of the Dead Man's Volley, which, if you don't know what it is when Ganondorf or Ganon or whatever, they throw an energy ball at you and you have to reflect it back with the sword. But in this case, she throws the ball at you. It has a color. That color link can only deflect that, and when she gets it back, then she throws it to another color. So it was kind of tedious for people who played for one player, but I guess for multiplayer it's a bit easier. So that boss fight was pretty good. Now, what happens is when you beat her, she literally goes away. She says, "I'm done with you. That's the end of it. Don't follow me. Don't talk to me. I'm done with you." She goes away. And that's it. Like, what? What? Oh my god. And then, like, oh, the game's supposed to be silly. I understand that, but there's hardly any substance about it. You show up, Princess Styla is cursed, search for the witch, find the witch, beat the witch. That's it. Because in the game, in certain temples, it was the Forest Temple, the Fortress, and the last temple, which is the Sky Temple. When you get your material or your treasure, you also get one of the lady's ensemble pieces, which is the sunglasses, the parasol, and the hat. And you take these 3 items, and by the time you beat Sister Lady in the final boss, that's when she gives you the final item. And you go to Madame Couture, which is the lady who makes your costumes wear. And it turns out they're both sisters, which we could see from fucking space. Jesus Christ. You make the ladies ensemble, which is a cute little. It's pretty fucking cute when Link wears it. Like when Link puts on it's the sunglasses, the dress, the umbrella, and the hat. And when Link puts on, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, that's so fucking cute. So when you wear that, that's what lifts the curse from Styla, and she could take off her ugly one-piece dress or her ugly one-piece suit or whatever, and then she wears her dress, and it's a really nice dress, and she's cute and whatever, and blah 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 blah, and it's pretty good, the ladies ensemble, because the effect it does, which that kind of makes me mad. Like some suits in the game, it kind of like makes other suits irrelevant, like the ladies ensemble. What happens is that the legendary dress, which is Zelda's dress, it allows more heart pieces to show up on the map, right? The ladies ensemble does that, and it gives you an extra heart container. So it kind of like tells you like, why would I wear Zelda's dress anymore when I could wear this when I get this? And that's one part of the game. And there's a couple of costumes that do that, including the Jack of Hearts, which gives you 1 heart container, and the Queen of Hearts, which gives you 3 containers. And I'm like, fucking, I guess, because like once you get to the point when you can unlock the Queen of Hearts costume and you didn't unlock the Jack of Hearts costume, you're like, why would I build this? You can just build that, and that's one point I didn't really like about Triforce Heroes. I mean, if they had the option to upgrade costumes instead of like building completely different ones that have the same ability but better, that doesn't really roll with me. Especially things like the fucking Swordmaster suit. But the Swordmaster suit is different, and I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. But when you beat the game, the king promises you a reward. And guess what the reward is, guys? Turns out the reward is that danky ass one-piece suit that fucking the Princess Styla took off. That you take it off her, and she gives it to you as a prize when you go back after the credits are over. And I'm like, what? At first, I thought it was like a material piece which you could use to make another suit. And it wasn't. It didn't show up on the material list, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I can't even do anything with it. And I'm like, so I get this as some sort of like stupid looking trophy. But then it turns out I go to Madame Couture's place again, and it turns out you can wear it. You can actually wear it. And what it does is that it does something similar to the Lucky Loungewear. The Lucky Loungewear allows you to dodge attacks and hits when you're lucky or whatever. So like you at certain points you can dodge hits and not take damage. That's lucky about it. The Kind of Cursed Tights, that's what it's called, the Kind of Cursed Tights, it does that, but it has more of a chance to be lucky, so you have more chances to dodge hits. But if you do get hit, you take double damage, which is kind of a, like, it's a good double-edged sword, but it's a one-piece black suit that makes you look like shit, so I'm not going to wear it much. Now, onto, like, the Sword Master and the Sword Suit. Now, the Sword Suit, because there's no Master Sword in this game, there's no sword upgrades in this game. You can't find heart pieces or heart containers in this game. You start with 10, and certain suits can either give you 1 or 3 more or whatever. So, the Sword Suit is basically your Master Sword in the game. When you put it on, it doubles your sword damage, and you can do sword beams with it when you're at full health, just like the Master Sword does in A Link Between Worlds and A Link to the Past. However, there's another suit called the Swordmaster suit, which is bigger and better than that, and looks kind of like that, which quadruples, or I should say, adds another multiplier to your sword, making it like the Golden Master Sword, and allows you to shoot sword beams or whatever. And then like, oh wow, why would I build the sword suit when I can build the Swordmaster suit? Because you don't get the option to build the Swordmaster suit until later in the game, and the materials that you need for it are very, very hard to get. And now that's the part I'm getting to next. Now, materials in this game, as you've seen in my review, are fucking tedious to get when you first play the game, but then when you unlock the Drabland missions, you can get the materials easier. You can get more rare materials easier. But the thing is, there are materials that you can only get 1 of, and the only way to get those materials that can lead to making suits, like the cactus suit, you can't make it unless you get those type of materials, those really super duper rare materials, and you can only get 1 of them, and the only way to get them is by completing every single Drabland mission challenge within that region. So I've done the forest one, right? And that gave me the supple leaf. And the supple leaf is something that you use to create the cactus suit, which deals damage to enemies if they touch you. So the Swordmaster suit requires 3 items. which is the gold dust, the golden beetle, and the fabled butterfly, I think. Yeah. And those three are the prizes that you get from the Drabland missions when you complete all of them for the last 3 areas, which is the ruins, the dunes, and the sky temple, the sky shit. And those dungeons are pretty fucking hard, like by themselves. I had trouble doing it by themselves, and to do the additional missions, which is like 3 additional missions on each dungeon path. Jesus Christ, it's gonna take a while for me to like get, and that's kind of a good thing. But I mean, like, I really want this suit, but I mean, it's really making you fucking earn it. I'm not complaining that it's too hard. I'm just saying that, you know, it's not a walk into park to get all these materials and all these suits, especially with the Drabland missions. So there is no way. I'm telling you guys, there is no way to get all the suits by just playing through the game, you know, once. It rewards you for playing through the game multiple times, and that's a good thing about the game that I really liked. Now, the music of this game is fucking amazing. My favorite tracks are the boss track, which is probably playing on in the background of this video, and the Riverside track, which is great. Oh my god. Like Riverside, play the Riverside level. Those are good. Those are good. The bosses, all the bosses are great. All the bosses are great, and even some of the semi-bosses are good. Not like now some. All of them are pretty damn good, enjoyable, varied, and challenging. Like there's this one boss in the Sky Temple, I believe. I think it's in the Sky. Yeah, it's in the Sky Temple. It's a semi-boss. What happens is that it floats above you to the point where even if you use 3 links, you can't even reach it. And it fires fireballs down towards you, which it gets pretty tedious, especially when you're trying to control 3 links. And the only way to get to it is by there's these 4 propellers on the dungeon, and there are bomb flowers that you have to use a boomerang to get. Once you get them, you throw the bomb onto these propellers, and you have to use the other link to use the gust jar in order to spin the wheel that powers the propeller that leads the bomb up when that fucking boss is over you. And tedious, fucking it's tedious, but in a good way, because it challenges you. And then at one point it blows up the bombs so you can't even use them anymore, and it flips over so that you'll have to throw a link onto the propellers to propel them up on top of the fucking eyeball floating thing. It's basically like a fucking UFO with a mouth on one side and an eyeball on the other, and then you throw it on top of it to hit the eyeball, and it dies. Yeah, that's some of the bosses. Also, Blizzagira, I think Blizzargia, which is the ice snake. That was one of the more, I would say, more easiest final bosses. He's the boss of the ice region. He wasn't really that hard, but I'm probably saying that he wasn't that hard because I got the cold or the snuzzy parka, basically like the ice climber looking shit, which doesn't allow you to slip on ice. I had that, and I guess that's the reason why I was able to deal with that boss a little bit, you know, better. But if I hadn't had that, probably it'll be a lot harder because he freezes the ground below you, and which makes you slip. And slipping in this game is fucking brutal. It just is. Oh my goodness. So the regions that we have in this game, the 8 regions, is forest, river, volcano, forest, river, volcano, fortress, dunes, ruins, sky. There's one I'm missing. Fuck. I'm gonna check this shit right now. I'm so bad at this game. No, I'm not bad at this game. But what else about this game that I can spoil that was, you know, something to look at? Let me take a look at this shit. Alright, Riverside Volcano, ice. Man, I was just saying, I'm so fucking dumb. Wow. Holy shit. Okay, so like woodlands, riverside, volcano, ice, cavern, fortress, the dunes, the ruins, and the sky realm. Those are the 8 regions, and they have 4 dungeons within each of them. And you're gonna have to complete fucking 16 missions worth of stuff within each region in order to get one super rare item, which is fucking dumb. And if you get the game, and if you don't know where to get those items, you have to get them from the king once you complete the mission. And man, it's funny because I'm trying to look for more things to say about this game, but I mean, like, this game, like, it's pretty straightforward on what you're getting. The story is weak. It's mostly about gameplay and the costumes and you know, have fun dungeon crawling with your friends. And like it's I mean, it's good. It's definitely better than Four Swords, but it still doesn't hold a candle to any of the Zelda games in terms of like everything. And a lot of people are still like complaining, oh, the story, why are you hating the story? Zelda has a reputation to keep up with the story. Oh, and my god, I can't believe I almost forgot that. They have a reputation to keep up with the story, and this story is just fucking lacking. It is. It doesn't really pertain to anything in the timeline, and there might be a reason behind that, because it turns out that this game actually might be a fanfic or a story written by someone in Hyrule, because the game starts off and ends with a book closing and, like, you know, a little pen, a little feather pen on the table and shit like that. And I'm like, so this game is a story written by someone in Hyrule? That's why it doesn't take place in the timeline. That's why it doesn't have Zelda. That's why it doesn't have Hyrule. That's why Link is not ever, you know, referred to as Link. Even when you try to put in your name, it takes the name that you would register on your 3DS instead. Jesus, there's so much shit to this game that is just like weird. So it's not gonna take place in the timeline. It can't. There's nothing to link it to the timeline. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all that is to that I want to spoil or is worth spoiling. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, all that good jazz. And if you're getting if you're getting Triforce Heroes, please hit me up so we can play together sometime. Alright guys? So until the next video, I've been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.